Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel of Debneel's Mathematics Desk. So today is part 2 of coordinate geometry for class 9. In the previous video, we began coordinate geometry, what are its initial concepts. We learned how to plot points, coordinates on a graph paper, and how a coordinate is formed, abscissa ordinate where the abscissa is a reading on the x-axis and the ordinate is the reading on the y-axis. We learned all these. We learned how to plot points and a lot of sums we did in the previous video. Now today, basically the same things we did in the previous video, a more conceptual type questions. Means you have learned everything, but let's see if you can put it into use in these questions that are a little bit twisted. So that's quite interesting to solve twisted questions, right? So we will see what kind of questions those are. Before starting my video, I love your support which you are showing to my channel consistently. Keep showing your support if you are finding the content of my videos very important and helpful. Leave a like and share and subscribe my channel. It motivates me to make better videos for you all on these interesting topics in all kinds of situations. Now let's get going. So part 2, let's begin. I told you in the previous video we have learned what are the basics of coordinate geometry. Not going to waste time with that again. Let's directly proceed into the sums. So we can, in the previous video I told you last sum, just remember that if you point 4 to 5 points on a graph paper, and if you join them you can have a figure. So just like that, if we plot 4 points such that on joining them we get a rectangle or a square or a parallelogram, triangle, anything. So that can happen. So let's see what kind of questions can arise through those figures. So now actually, why it's coordinate geometry? See, we are drawing rectangle, square through points. So that's kind of geometry with the help of coordinates. Now the chapter makes sense, right? Let's see. So in the following, this is the first question. The coordinates of three vertices of a rectangle ABCD are given. Coordinates of three vertices of a rectangle ABCD are given. Graphically, find the fourth vertex. Let's see how we can do that in this kind of questions. Okay, first of all, the coordinates of A, B, and C. A is 2, 0. B is, I think, 8, 0. Yeah. And C is your 8, 4. So these 3 points are given to us. As the rectangle is ABCD, obviously we have to find D. D is what? So as it's graphically, let's first draw a graph. Trying to draw a nice graph. Not that small. Always put the arrows, okay, because it can extend to infinity, the lines. And now you know the marking, x dash. So y. Oh wait, I'm confused. Y dash. And this is the origin, the center O with 0, 0, we all know. Now at the points 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, suppose, yeah. And on the upper side as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let it be up to 6. What do you say? Yes. Then on this side, -1, -2, -3. And you also learned about quadrants, right? -5. What are they? 4 quadrants are there: x, y, x dash y, x dash y dash, y dash x. So what are the signs of the points in the 4 coordinates? This is the first quadrant, all the both axes are ordinate positive. Second quadrant, abscissa negative, ordinate positive. Third quadrant, both abscissa and ordinate negative. Fourth quadrant, abscissa positive, ordinate negative. So you can just see, right? First x axis, y axis, that's the form of the coordinate. Just see, you can just understand from the figure, the signs. Then here -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Let it be up to -6 here as well. Now let's point the given point. So a2 comma 0. That means 2 units on x-axis first of all. So here, and 0 units on y-axis. That means here. The intersection of these 2 points, this one. So this is my a2 comma 0. Then b8 comma 0. That means 8 units on x-axis here, and 0 units on y-axis. So here. Again, the intersection of these 2 points is this one. This is my b8 comma 0. Let me write it a bit this side. Yeah. Now come C, 8 unit on x-axis, again here only. So I'm putting it here. And 4 units on y-axis, that means here. Intersection of these 2 points, just dotted line. This point, right? This one. This is the intersection of 8 on x-axis and 4 units on y-axis, right? So now I'm running the dotted line. This is just to means mark the intersection, nothing else. So this point, this is my C, 8 comma 4. Now just join these lines, A, B, and C. If you do that, AB is joined, join B, comma C. So the fourth coordinate is missing, but it's a rectangle. So the length of AB should be equal to the length of CD. What do we know for a rectangle? Opposite sides are equal, right? So suppose anywhere here a point D is there. So that should be placed in such a way that length of AB is equal to length of CD. Now what is the length of AB? A and B are lying on the x-axis. So we have to calculate the distance between those 2 points. As both the points are on x-axis, how can the distance be calculated? 8 minus 2, 6 units. Just see this. Between A and B, what is the distance? How many units are there? 6 units. That means between C and D also a distance of 6 units should be maintained, right? So here B 8 minus 6 is equal to 2. Similarly for C it is 8 on the x-axis. So for D on the x-axis it should be 8 minus 6, 2. For the abscissa I am telling, see why I am telling for the abscissa first of all, because AB should be equal to CD. Distance of AB should be equal to distance of CD. That's the main means what is the theory or the property of rectangle, you can say that. So what is the distance of AB? Both points lying in x-axis, okay. So you have to calculate the distance between their abscissa, right? What is the distance? 8 minus 2, 6 units. Similarly, see, CD is also parallel to x-axis. So we have to we are concerned with their abscissa distance, number of units between their abscissas. So then D's abscissa will be what? See, the distance between C and D abscissa should be 6 units, right? So D should be equal to 8 minus 6, right? That is these two. Now coming to another part. Similarly, BC should be equal to AD. Again, opposite side should be equal. Now, what is the length of BC? Now, BC is parallel to y-axis. So, we have to check the ordinate now. the distance between the ordinates of B and C. 4 minus 0, 4 units. That means the distance between ordinates of A and D should also be 4 units. Right. So, for my ordinate of D, it should be 0 plus 4, which will be 4. So, does the coordinate come to be 2 comma 4? Let's check. So, 2 comma 4 means 2 units on x-axis here and 4 units on y-axis. Check where these two intersect. Somewhere around here. Yep. So this is the point. Rubbing the intersect dotted lines. So this is the point, right? This is D2 comma 4. Better to write it somewhere else. Now join the 4 points. Join AD. Join C. Are we having a rectangle here? Absolutely. This is our rectangle. So see how you have to solve it here. First of all, this D has two parts, abscissa and ordinate. So abscissa is based on x-axis. So A and B are lying on the x-axis, and we know that distance of AB should be equal to distance of CD. The distance of AB means what? Distance between the two abscissa, 8 minus 2, 6. Similarly, the distance between the two abscissa of C and D should also be 6 units. So C is already 8. Then D should be what? 8 minus 6, 2. That's your abscissa. Now coming to the ordinate. So now, again, ordinate is constant with y-axis. Now also we know that BC should be equal to AD. Opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. BC parallel to y-axis. Now check the distance between the ordinates of B and C. 4 minus 0, 4. That is the distance between ordinates of A and D should also be 4. Equal distance. So if my A is 0, then D's ordinate will be what? 0 plus 4. That will be 4. So both the abscissa distance and both the ordinate distance, they should be equal. And where they means merge, that is your point. And that's how you find it. That's as easy as that. You just saw it, right? And see, a perfect rectangle is also formed. Now I don't want to rub this graph paper, you know that. It's hard to draw a graph paper again and again. This is super easy. Let's move on. I told you it's about concepts. You are understanding the concepts, then this chapter I don't think any sum you can do wrong. You can't do wrong, it's as easy as that. Trying to carefully rub this graph, or not graph, figure. Let me see if I can rub it properly. Yeah. Again 2 and 8. And this 4. Oh, come on. That's my problem. I hate when I do mistakes. Yeah, now it's on. So this is our graph. Let it be in one side. In each question, graph is going to come. You can't do anything. Okay, this is very good. A minus 2 comma 4. C 4 comma 10. B 2 comma what is that? D 2 comma minus 10 are 3 vertices of a square. Graphically find a few subparts. Fourth vertex, midpoint of BC and CD, coordinates of point of intersection of diagonals. So what are our, let's, this is easy, right? So let's first point A, C and D, and fourth vertex means you have to find B. So B is missing. A minus 2 comma 4. Let's plot it. Minus 2 units on x-axis here and 4 units on y-axis, that means here. Get the intersection this point. This is the point, and this is your wait, a minus 2 comma 4. Yeah, this is my A. Now C, 4 comma 10. 4 units on x-axis here. Come on, 10 units on y-axis. I have to increase this. Taking a lot of space, huh? Oh no, this is not good, you know. My graph might fall short for this. I need to means drastically change area. Okay guys, just give me some time. Nothing is impossible, right? Well, sometimes you might be out of space. Adjustment very necessary. You will understand why I did that very soon. Okay, so not again, don't tell me OBS, it's okay. So it's not being good, I know. It's too much less space I have taken to mark the points, right? Let me just write nicely. You will see a beautiful graph here. When you go like that, the space comes down. Still better now, yeah. Now let's do it. So now C4 comma 10, 4 units on x-axis, 10 units on y-axis. Here, intersection. Finding intersection is quite hard, right? Things takes a lot of time. You can't just see and write it. Some people can with the vision power, but it can go wrong if you just don't do like that. It may go wrong. This is C4 comma 10 without any problems. Now comes D, 2 comma minus 10. 2 units on x-axis, minus 10 units on y-axis, obviously. The reason I had to draw such a big graph, intersection here, which I hate to find this point. What you trying to just show the point. This is C, no, B 2 comma minus. Wait, is this a square? Means can it be a square? Means something's wrong with the information or anything. ACD. What is the parallelogram? Yeah. Don't know what is it. Uh, this one also is writing. What is this? Is this a what do I say? Square anyhow? Can't do anything. You don't see this is a square actually. Uh, let's see. It might be a square. Who knows? If square has all the sides and the dimensions equal, right? Means AC should be equal to CD as well. So AC distance here is what is it? Or maybe it's equal. Means they are given the question, so can't be wrong. How can it be wrong? 4 comma 10, 2 comma minus 10, yeah. Minus 2 comma 4. Obviously, let's join these. Yeah, that's weird to join it like that. Something like that one that comes down. To be honest, I am not means to understand how can it be a square. Let me just calculate. Okay, one thing. Let me just calculate. 6 plus 72, and here it's your. It's not a square. It's nowhere a square actually. It's a parallelogram. How can it be a square? Because see, nowhere the distances are same, right? Obviously, the distances are not same. Minus 2,4. Now I'm checking again if I am wrong. Obviously, I do that. ACD. How can it be like that? Possible for this to be a square? Distance formula, guys. What is it? Distance formula is equal to what for 2 points x1 y1 x2 y2, which is root of y2 minus y1 square plus x2 minus x1 square. So if I take distance of AC, then what will be the distance of AC? Here y2 is 10, y1 is 4, plus x2 is 4, x1 is minus 2. Minus 2 means plus 2. So root of 6 square plus 6 square, 72. Root 72. Let it be. Now if I come to CD, what is its distance you see? See this distance, y2 is my minus 10 and y1 is 10 square plus x2 minus x1. Now x2 is 2, x1 is 4. This is minus 10 minus 10 minus 20 whole square, 400 plus 2 minus 4 plus 2 plus 2, 404, root 404. AC is not equal to CD. This is not a square. Something wrong in the question. Remember the distance formula? By means of mistake we learnt it. So it is for 2 points in the form like this. Suppose x1, y1, x2, y2. Their distance between them y2 minus y1 whole square plus x2 minus x1 whole square whole root. Okay, and obviously you know all sides of a square are equal, but here it's not going to be the case. It's a parallelogram actually, I think, right? So I'm seeing the question. So let's solve it like a parallelogram. Let's see if we can do that. Even it's a parallelogram, no difficulties with that, I think. Okay, I have to join it nicely. That's my main problem. See here how is this? We mark it properly. This is my a2 comma minus 2 comma 4. Let's join A and C. Okay. Now join C and D. Hard join. Somewhat a straight line came out. This is again it's a parallelogram. I don't know. So for the parallelogram, what we know that again the opposite sides need to be equal. So coming to means the distance of the opposite sides need to be equal. So what is the distance of AC? Now you know the distance formula. So using the distance formula, let's find AC. AC should be equal to BD, and CD should be equal to AB. This is D. Okay, this is D. So let's calculate AC's distance. AC equal to root of y2 is 10, y1 4, x2 is 4, x1 minus 2 means plus 2. x2 minus x1, 4 minus minus 2 means 4 plus 2 obviously. Equal to 6 square, 36 plus 36 again 6 square. So root 72 units. What is that now? Root 72 units. Okay. So similarly, my AC is this, okay. This my DB, BD actually should also be the same. What are they trying to give in the question? Means something's wrong actually, guys. I'm telling you, something's wrong in the question. If you keep doing like that, it will be wrong forever. So give me some time. Okay, give me 2 minutes. Let me see what's wrong in the question. I will come in within 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. maybe I think I found out what is the mistake. Luckily. So I think that this is minus 2 comma 10. Will something change? I don't know. If it's minus 2 comma 10, then this line is gonna go out of here. Minus 2 comma 10. Minus 2 units on x-axis. And okay, I didn't see one thing. You will also see that. Minus 2 comma 10, right? So on x-axis minus 2, on y-axis 10 units. So the intersection here. So this is d minus 2 comma 10. Now rub this line. We have 3 points actually, if I am not wrong. And so this is their thing. Now let's join AD and DC. What do you say? Somewhat looking like a mini square, 90 degree. Now all sides of a square are equal. So now here in all cases, always don't go for that distance finding. First you tell me, means how will you mark the point in such that if all the sides become equal. So what you can do is check the intersection of these 2 points. One going along this side and the other coming along this side. Let's check where they intersect. If I am just I am going. Here also. Just see where they intersect. Here they are intersecting. If I am not blind, if I am not blind, that is the remaining point. So this is what you can do for a square, I think. Means where if you are given 3 points, just like I have shown you here, see where these 2 points A and C are intersecting. That is your point D, B. Okay, this is my point B. Now check its coordinates. What is it? On x-axis, you just see it is up to 4 units on x-axis, and on y-axis it is also up to 4 units. So this is B4 comma 4. That's my remaining point. I've got the square. Now let's assuredly join these lines. We are good at this chapter now. How easy was that? 3 points are given. Sorry for that time delay because mistakes can occur, minus 2 comma 10. I will be as 2 comma minus 10. Humans make mistakes. But if you have the 3 points, just check where A and C are intersecting. Okay, means one is going along this side and C is coming downwards. Where they intersect, that intersection point, that is your remaining point. Then just see from the graph what are its coordinates. That is the coordinates of B. So 4th vertex is 4 comma 4. Midpoint of BC and CD. So midpoint means what? You know midpoint formula for x1, y1, x2, y2. Midpoint is x1 plus x2 by 2, comma y1 plus y2 by 2. These will be the coordinates of the midpoint. Then for BC, midpoint will be what? x1 is 4, x2 is also 4. 4 plus 4 by 2, comma y1 is 4, y2 is 10 by 2. These will be the coordinates. So 4 plus 4, 8 by 2, 4. 4 plus 10, 14 by 2, 7. Midpoint 4 comma 7. But it's told graphically find the midpoint. So now plot the midpoint 4 comma 7 graphically on the graph paper. 4 units on x-axis, 7 units on y-axis here. Intersect them. This will be here. That is my midpoint. What do I give the name? E. Let it be E 4 comma 7. So E is the midpoint of BC. Job not done. Now comes D. So what can be now D's midpoint, CD's midpoint? So similarly like that, CD's midpoint will be again x1 for CD, 4, x2 for CD, minus 2. x1 and x2 are the abscissa of both the points actually. You are adding the abscissas and dividing by 2 and adding the ordinates and dividing by 2. That's sort of the midpoint. So 4 minus 2 by 2, obviously minus sign is there, and 10 plus 10 by 2, yeah, which is 10. So 4 minus 2, 2 by 2, 1 comma 10. So midpoint of CD is 1 comma 10. Now mark this midpoint of CD on the graph paper because it's graphically you have to do it. So 1 comma 10, 1 unit on x-axis here and 10 units on y-axis. This is here. So we intersect them somewhere around here. Yeah, that will be our midpoint F. Okay, F 1 comma 10. I'm writing D here because you might not be able to see it. Okay, now comes to diagonals. To find the coordinates of diagonal, first draw the two diagonals nicely. Nicely, I don't know how to draw nicely. I am not good at drawing, guys. Don't be laughing at the comments. It's quite true. Just see that it's not going well for me. Drawing is a thing which I am never good at. So if you are expecting a beautiful drawing from me, you are doing the biggest mistake on the planet. And somehow I managed to draw the two diagonals. So this is the intersection of the two diagonals. Now you have to find from the graph what is the coordinate. So on x-axis, just see, it is up to 1 unit, I think. Yeah, 1 unit. It is up to 1 unit on x-axis here, right, and up to 7 units on the y-axis. Obviously, seeing one thing, just seeing one thing, guys. Just give me some time. Means actually I'm just calculating one thing. Just okay, just give me some time. You can give me that. This was midpoint. 4 minus 2 and 10 plus 4 14 by 7. This is okay. 10 plus 4 7. We are okay. And these two things. Minus 2 plus 4 minus 2 10 plus 7 10. This one. I am seeing a midpoint. 2 plus 4 minus 2 and 10. So they are intersecting here. Means I am just confused with CD's midpoint here a bit. CD's midpoint is coming for me 1 comma 10, right? Yeah, yes, obviously. Sorry guys, sorry. A big mistake for me. 1, yeah. Okay, 1 here and 10. This one, this minus 2 plus 4, 2, 2 by 1 and 4. 1 comma 4, 1 and 4. So I'm just seeing AB's midpoint. You know one thing, uh, if we join the midpoints of AD and BC and CD and AB, then we can get the intersection of the diagonals. See, AD's midpoint, it is, I just calculated it, that's what I am doing till now. Minus 2 comma 7 is the midpoint, which is here. CD's midpoint you all know already. CD's midpoint as well, and AB's midpoint is 1 comma 4, which is here. So then if I join these two midpoints, and these two, this point I get, that is the intersection of the diagonals as well. So actually I am doing it correct because it is the correct intersection. So this point is 1 unit on x-axis and 7 units on y-axis. So intersection of diagonals 1 comma 7. Midpoint of BC and CD I didn't write, bad manners. BC was 4 comma 7 or 1 comma 10. And that's the whole solution of this question. So it's not that easy. You have to be wise. First plot the first 3 points, then just mark the intersection of A and C, that is the remaining point B. Okay, finding midpoint, I have told the formula for 2 points x1 y1 x2 y2 x1 plus x2 by 2 y1 plus y2 by 2, that is the midpoint. Mark the midpoint of the graph paper. Okay, mark means calculate midpoints of BC and CD and mark them on graph paper. Then join the two diagonals, their intersection. See what are the coordinates of that point on the graph paper, and that's your coordinates of point of intersection of diagonals. As easy as that. You go step by step smoothly. Don't do mistakes of this like me, 2 comma minus step. You will succeed quite nicely. Okay, let's see next one. It's a very good chapter, right? Lots of detailed things and it's fun. I like this chapter. It's not about huge many concepts, but what it has, it's quite nice. Feels good to solve this kind of questions. Let's see some more. And this is quite a familiar question which I had come across as well when I gave my class 9 examination. Points were different, but the question is same. Plot 3511. Oh man, I rubbed the graph paper. Come on. Okay. 0 comma minus 1 on a graph paper. Graph I am writing check. Wow. Starting the spelling of check with E. Very nice. Check if they are collinear. Collinear or not. Okay. So let's again draw the graph paper here. So middle I am drawing it. Straight line means guys, I have drawing from the means when I was very small in my subjects, but the day I means came to know that drawing is removed from our subjects of the class, that was a means happiest day for me. So I hate drawing, I can't draw well. Okay, it's a true fact. No one knows it better than me. Obviously, who will know? So this is the graph 0, origin, not 0. Um, just writing the points. Means as you keep doing the sums, the difficulty will come down to like 0. Since you're familiar with what kind of questions will come, doesn't trouble you. I know that. Like it's not troubling me even 1%. And you will be telling like the previous question you got troubled. No, that's what can I do if I just wrote the wrong reading? So my mistake, I know that, but happens, you know. Especially I told you guys that my class 12 classes started. It's been 2 days since I joined my class 12 classes, and life is not good in class 12. Nor to be honest, it's huge syllabus, and you will know when you go to class 12. For now, let's consider it here. So let's plot 3 comma 5. 3 units on x-axis here, 5 units on y-axis here. Intersect them. This is the intersection. This is 3 comma 5. Point plot 1 comma 1. 1 unit on x-axis, 1 unit on y-axis. Intersection is this one. This is your 1 comma 1. 0 comma minus 1. 0 units on x-axis here and minus 1 units on y-axis, that is here. So is that 0 comma minus 1 or something else? Minus 1 or something. Yeah, I think it's 0 comma minus 1 only. Yeah, this point. This. Also 0 comma minus 1 here. Now let's check if they're lying the same line. Let us see if we can draw a straight line through the 3 points. Whoa, it's a straight line, collinear, obviously. So as these 3 points are lying on a straight line, they are obviously collinear. Therefore, yeah, yes, collinear. How easy is that? Plot the 3 points 3, comma 5, 1, comma 1, and 0, comma minus 1. 0 units on x-axis, minus 1 units on y-axis, obviously. Intersection this point, obviously. Then just draw straight line if you can. So 3 points, as you can draw straight line, they are lying on the same straight line, so it's collinear. You know the meaning already. Another kind of question means as hard as it can get. It can't get harder than this. This I believe that the previous question was much harder than this one. Let's see another one. This is also a good question. Not much to offer from this part 2, but part 3 is a new part. Means graphical representation or graphs of linear equations. We'll see how to do that. Easy, very easy. We have to means take 3 coordinates, x, y, 3 coordinates. Mark them on the graph paper, and mostly they are collinear. So that collinear line is the graph. We will see. It's very simple. Okay. Let's proceed here. Plot A 5 comma minus 7. From A, draw AM perpendicular to x-axis and AN perpendicular to y-axis. Find coordinates of M and N. And like a foolish person, I have again rubbed the graph paper. Not graph paper, graph. Not a big deal. Drawing graph papers has become smooth and easy, right? X dash y dash y 0. Again, I'm doing 0. It's origin. 6, let it be. Let it be up to 5. You can go up to any extent, but have a limit. Is through means the limit should be like that. You can mark the points. Have an idea of what points you have to plot. Like see here -7 is there on y-axis. That means on this line I have to keep up to -7. That's why I drew it a little bit more. You can understand that. See this. See, accurate. Now plot a 5 comma -7 first of all. First priority. 5 units on x-axis, -7 units on y-axis. Intersect them. We will get it somewhere around here. This is a 5 comma -7. The intersection of the 2 points 5 and -7 on x and y axis respectively. Now AM perpendicular to x axis means what? I will draw straight line here. As simple as that. A straight line. That is AM. If I name it AM here, it is AM perpendicular to x axis. Similarly, AN perpendicular to y axis means what? I will draw a straight line here. This is C. I name it N. This is AN perpendicular to y axis. Perpendicular means what? Like this. See this point is how it's looking. Is this line perpendicular to x axis? This is the line. Okay, it's looking like a T. It's looking like that. Similar to the y axis is looking like this. That is another perpendicular. So these are the two perpendiculars and M and N. Now calculate their coordinates. M is 5 units on x axis. Axis of 5. And on y axis we have nothing, so 0 units. Similarly, n is not lying on the x axis anyhow, right? N is not lying on the x axis, so 0. On the y axis it is lying up to -7 units. This is your answer. M is 5 comma 0, n is 0 comma -7. After you finish plotting the point, just have a clear conception. Perpendicular to x-axis means a straight line like this. Just draw a straight line from A, and where it meets on x-axis, that is your perpendicular line. Similarly, from A, draw a straight line up to y-axis, where it meets perpendicular to y-axis, AN. Now from the graph, just observe the coordinates of M and N. 5 comma 0, 0 comma -7. Easy as that. Finished. So these are the kinds of sums that can arise in the geometrical questions. This is the means beginning improved basics, you can tell, of coordinate geometry, which we have ended successfully. Okay. That's the end actually of part 2. We did the sums were good. I like the way they framed it. This chapter, see, if it can offer something more than this, then I believe the sum is out of the chapter. Can't offer something more than that. It's quite hard actually, considering the chapter's difficulty. But you will see how part 3 totally changes the difficulty level of this chapter. You will see what is the value of the chapter actually. You will see how you can graphically show linear equations. You know linear equations, right? Like this, 4x plus 3y equal to 12. You know linear equations. We will see how we can just represent this linear equation as a graph, just through a line. Imagine 4x plus 3y equal to 12 and a line like this. Is this is the line representing this equation. Can it be possible? So we will see if it's really possible or not. Maths can make anything possible. We will see that. Wait till the next video for that. Rubbing this for now. So then if you liked my part 2 of coordinate geometry for class 9 and all the sums and the formulas we learned today were clear and helpful for you, leave a like and share and subscribe because it motivates me to make better videos for you all. Even if I am going through a hard class 12, okay, being honest. So let's meet in part 3, the magic of linear equations represented graphically, coming in the next video. Till then, take care and goodbye. Thank you.